afternoon.
You get more people into it. Okay. And right here.
Hi, Kristen. Same question I asked Taylor. What drives you to succeed, and what kind of car do you drive?
Me and my family sort of share cars, so I don't have one car that I drive all the time, but I drive a Toyota Tacoma, which I probably shouldn't be saying right now. It's just, I don't really want people, I mean, just go on the internet, I suppose, you can see that. But, and then a Mini Cooper sometimes too, but I feel a little too flashy in that, so.
But what drives you to succeed?
Well, I mean, I guess success is always something completely different to people. I feel like I feel like I succeeded if I'm doing something that makes me happy and I'm not lying to anybody, and I'm not doing that now, so I feel really good about myself. And I don't know. That's a really vague. That's a tough one. What drives me to succeed? I really, right now specifically, I really love acting, and I feel like it's a cool thing to be really indulgent and follow that and only that. Like I have a lot of ambitions in life, but like for the next few years, I just want to be an actor, and that's a lucky opportunity. So, but I don't know. That drives me to want to be good at that, but I'm not sure.
Kristen, you're in the middle of this journey with Bella Swan. Do you worry that it's sort of taking over your persona, so to speak? I mean, The Runaways was a terrific hit, and I don't think a lot of people went to see it necessarily. It's certainly nothing like what's happened with any of the Twilight movies. And I know you do a lot of other things, but, you know, how do you feel about your life and career versus Bella, I guess?
I mean, this is a unique situation. I get to play her for a really long time. And that also is a serious indulgence in something that's really lucky, because I feel really sad when I lose a character at the end of a short shoot, which typically is like 6 weeks on a small movie, which is what I'm used to. And I don't see her as being this. It definitely is obviously the one role that has put me in this sort of epic position. But it's just another movie, and I think it doesn't matter if you're doing a studio movie or if you're doing an independent movie. When you get to set and you're doing a scene, it's always going to be the same job. It really doesn't. I really don't think about my career in terms of like planning it out and what this does for me. And this was a part that I really wanted to play, and luckily I got to do it for a long time.
Can you tell us a little bit about in this one? You make a decision. And do you feel like it's been one of your big challenges in the series so far? And is it your favorite one?
Yeah, there's definitely the conflict sort of, she's pushed to the point where the decision needs to be made in this one, but she does that in each movie. And what's cool is that things change, and as certain as she is sometimes, and as absolutely gung-ho and young and courageous and brave, she's also willing to take a step back and go, okay, I'm gonna reconsider my options and reconsider how I'm treating everybody, because she, acknowledges that she's being a little bit selfish, and she makes the choice. But I feel like the choice has been made, like, as soon as she sees him in the first one, it's done. But it's hard for her to get to the point where everyone is going to accept that, and this is the one that it sort of happens in.
Was that your big challenge, or was there one scene that was really challenging for you? Maybe it was what you had to do, the action, or something like that?
The action was actually absolutely everyone else's responsibility. I just stand behind people that are stronger than me the entire time. I don't even get to run around as much as I did in the second movie. So the action wasn't difficult. I guess one of the most challenging scenes would probably be kissing Jacob for real, finally, for the first time, and seeing that there was a different road to go down that was desirable as well, and that for her, because she's so, like tunnel vision, Edward is the only thing for her. It's a strange perspective. And then I have to go in and talk to Edward about it, and it's like, such a different dynamic than we've ever had, and it was a different Bella. It was like I had never had to play somebody who would have done stuff like that, so it was hard, and I was nervous as hell about it.
Because of the kiss?
Just because of that moment and how different that kiss is to all of the rest of them in the movie, and how different they have to be. Like it is the most unique moment. It's like it's also it's a mistake, and it's like I always say that Bella makes a lot of mistakes and she's willing to own them, and she's. I think it's cool to see her a little bit like ashamed and then at the same time like scared. I just think it's cool.
Over there.
So, some people have suggested that one of the big reasons why the series is so popular is that it mixes forbidden love, making love to forbidden desire, making love to a vampire with more traditional message like pro-marriage, family, and true love. Is that one of the big reasons? And if so, are there others, or why or why not?
Are there reasons for
The popularity of the series is because it mixes.
right? I think if you took like all of the mythical aspects away from the story, that it would still stand as a really strong, interesting thing to be a part of. Like I think the whole vampire and the whole werewolf thing are really good, like sort of plot devices, because all of the aspects of a vampire and all of the aspects of a werewolf are fully encompassed by the humans that are playing, or the humans that are like by Jacob and Edward. So it's like if all of that was gone, they'd still be the same people. And I don't think it's like a big phenomenon because the vampire mythical aspect. It definitely takes a good story and it raises the stakes and it makes it a little bit more interesting. But I think it's just about how whole the characters are and how easy it is to have like a faith in them and be sort of addicted to them, and they let you down a lot and then like pick themselves back up, and it's just like I don't think it has anything to do with the vampire thing. I think it just makes that a little bit cooler.
I wanted to ask you about working with David Slade, because it was kind of interesting. I noticed he used a lot of close-ups, and I was wondering if you were aware that a lot of these shots were going to be in close-up. And fortunately, you have beautiful, flawless skin, but I mean, was there any extra thing you had to do in terms of your acting to work with his style of filmmaking?
No, I mean we've worked with the same DP now for New Moon and Eclipse, and I always ask Javier, like, hey, how close are you? Because David actually it's sort of something that he intentionally does, is not tell you stuff like that, which I completely understand, because most actors are crazy and neurotic and don't want to know that the camera's up their nose, but it's good to know. But no, I didn't do anything differently. I mean, you have to change a little bit. Just, I mean, every time you work with a new director, but it's cool working with someone different on each one of these, because as long as someone has like the same passion for it, as long as they're into it, you have to do all of this sort of like rework. You have to reconsider all of the ideas that, had you been working with the same person, you might just say like, oh, we've covered that. We don't need to go over that again. But in this case, I have to introduce my character to David. He meets Bella through me. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm playing her. You know what I mean? It's like, that's just the way. We've done something already, and it's cool to let a new person into the fold. It's fun.
Right here.
Hi. Now that you've done 3 of these, are there things in the books that you wish had made it into the movies?
Yeah, totally. Gosh, there's a million things. I mean, like, every single time we watch one of the movies, especially if some of the cast watches it together, it's like, it's always an incredibly frustrating experience. I mean, that's why I'm glad Breaking Dawn is going to be 2 movies, which I can finally say. So there's going to be less of that. There's like going to be less of having to lose stuff. I mean, I know you want like a specific thing, but I'm trying to think of one now and I can't.